Good morning, dreamers. How are you today? So, I can't just ignore yesterday and what happened, so I won't. Thank you so much for every single one of you that reached out because you care about my child, you care about my friend's child, and you just plain care. It was really, really important that that occurred for those of you who reached out, Christian and non Christian alike. It really mattered because what it showed my children was that people do care. Because when they sit at the table and they say, why do we always have to be the bigger person? And I say, because you represent Jesus. That's a tough, cliche answer to give them. And many of you pointed out, yes, you represent Jesus, but you're not a doormat. Like that phrase kept coming, and it's so true. And I knew that. That's why I was done. My dad commented on my anger, and I said, yeah, but if you line that up with everything I had said previously about seeing the person and understanding where they're coming from and always seek peace and always seek the way of Jesus. And he's like, I didn't say it was wrong. He was upset that his grandkid was treated that way as well. Many had advice about what to do with the management of the company. And for the absolute record, her immediate supervisor and her direct manager are amazing. And that is why she's still there. They'd already worked a 10-hour day. And so they were willing, the manager had gone out of town and said, do you need me to come back? I will come back. And by that time, things had fizzled and Hannah just needed to get it out. And so she didn't come back. But she came in to work on her next shift storming. You don't treat my kids like this, right? And so things will happen. Her direct manager has asked that there will be security hired if the police are too thin to make it out there on a regular basis. Let's look at how do we keep our staff safe. So things are in motion in the actual environment. I also then messaged, so I had messaged head office there too. I leave the rest. But I'd also messaged our mayor and our member of parliament. And I was thinking, you know what, they're so busy. It'll take a couple days at least, right? And the member of parliament's staffer called. Can you just tell me what happened? So I told him, wow. And he spent time on the phone with, you need to chat with the mayor, you need to make a report, send something into the police, you need to contact them, and this, that, and the other. And gave me some practical steps to take. Then I thought, okay, that's great. That was like, I don't know, 2 o'clock. 4 o'clock, my phone goes off, and it was the MP himself. His staffer had called, or he had called for an update, what's going on there, and staffer had told him about our phone call. He called back, talked for an hour. First wanted to empathize and hear and connect. Then wanted to reassure. Told me some stuff going on in Ottawa that he's experienced. Told me what's going on as far as the rhetoric is going. He said knowing these stories is really important because when a conservative MP starts to fly rhetoric around in what is seemingly support of a protest that is now beyond a protest, he can say, but this is what people are using the original protest to get away with doing. And he can say, this is in my constituency office, this happened Sunday, this, and he has the details. Now, I am not here to plug him. He and I know each other, and I'm not even saying his name, not because I don't care about him. but also not because I vote for him. I'm not telling you who I vote for, and I'm not saying you should vote blah, 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 blah. This is not political. This is a servant to our country called back to reassure the mom of a 16-year-old that things are happening the best they can. Explained things like why we're not calling in the army. And I can talk about those things with you privately if those things are important to you. That's not a problem. But he talked about changing who we represent, how we represent ourselves. And he said what's happening is this big thing is happening. Then things like social media. It used to be when we were growing up, if we wanted to say something, we'd write graffiti on the wall of the bathroom. This was his analogy. And he said, now we have social media, so we can say something. And he said, social media has become the global toilet. I was like, yes, you're right. And my social media is the equivalent of Jesus loves you, heart. Because I see all the phone numbers for a good time call. So-and-so sucks. Right? Like I see all of those things and I throw up some Sharpie that says Jesus loves you, and I just add to the graffiti. So I sit and I wonder, but at the same time it's a tool to be used, unlike a bathroom stall. But it was such a telling phrase, the global toilet. And I thought, yeah, we need to be so much better at how we use our social media. Because they're recruiting and they're this and they're that and whatever. And it's not the original. He wanted to have an update on the family. I told him I'm engaged to a trucker, and he says, wait, before we go any further, you need to say thank you to him, because he is working so hard to keep our country together, and all of these other things are not representing the majority of truckers. And he said, I need to say that out loud, and I need you to pass it on to him. I know that this is not a do you support truckers thing, because of course you support truckers. This has blown way out of context and way out of proportion. And it's just now there's a group of people that are doing to their fellow man, their fellow Canadian, what they're accusing the government of doing. And whether they have it right or not, doesn't matter, because they are becoming who they say they hate, and they are damaging the people they say they're trying to help, which is the small business owners, etc., 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 etc. Blah, blah, blah. I got to go home. Bottom line, I got to go home to tell my kids that someone's listening to them. I got to demonstrate to them mom cares about what happens in their world and in their environment. And so today is much better, because I also got to show them that 86 people viewed that video yesterday and they cared. I got to show them my Facebook feed and say, look at all the comments, all the people of all different understandings and viewpoints. That was the cool thing. Stella, she's bumping her face up against the screen from behind. You can't see her, but she's moving the screen. Yeah. Oh, are you coming to say hi? Is that what you're doing? Hello. But anyway, I got to go home and show my kids that adults aren't all bad. And they didn't really think adults were all that bad, but they are listening, they are watching, they are seeing what their adults do and how they respond. And it was very, very good for me to be able to pass on to them that, hey, guess what? There are people who wish they were in Ottawa protesting right now that also know how you were treated was wrong. And so we can make a difference. Glad that didn't have coffee in it. It's my to-go mug. Anyway, we can make a difference gently and peacefully and calmly, one person at a time. And I think that's the key. You cannot mandate kindness. You can't. I wish you could. but you can't.
That would
And
blow up
so-
everyone's faces.
It would. And so, I'm going to spend some more time dreaming today of a world where people want to be kind. And hopefully, I'll make a tiny little difference along the way. But if you're around and you want to read my bathroom wall, it's going to just say, Jesus loves you. Or actually, it might say, you are his masterpiece, but I'm not telling secrets. You have a great day. Enjoy some coffee while it's still hot. Know that I love you. Mwah. Bye.